As a content entrepreneur, you're constantly faced with which tool to use. Do you use this particular large language model, LLM, or do you use that one, etc.? There's several decisions you have to make. Well, in this video, you're going to get some answers you can use because we're going to take a look at ChatGPT, we're going to look at Perplexity, and Grok. Yeah, you're going to look at all three of those, pros and cons. We're holding nothing back. I want to give you exactly what you need because this is going to be something really good that can help you in your business. And hey, it's going to be fun too. So let's do it. We're going to get into it and take a look at this and what is available and what you need to know. Okay, as we get into it, let me tell you a bit about the methodology that I'm using and what we did to make this happen. I went into each of the modules that are there, each of the programs actually, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Grok, and I used the same prompt in all of them. That's a good way to kind of make sure things stay the same. And I think that's the way the scientists, the real scientists do it. I'm a wannabe scientist, but they do it this way, so they make sure they hold all variables constant and test them. So let's take a look at the prompt that I put in first. So here's the prompt that I put into ChatGPT, and I'm using version 4.0 on this. Matter of fact, I can come over here and I'm going to let you see it. I'm doing a YouTube post on a comparison between Perplexity, ChatGPT, and Grok. Give me a detailed report on the strengths and weaknesses of each. That's good to know as it compares to the others. Where does each one shine, and where do the deficiencies in each one? And we go on to say, is there a particular platform that would be good for certain industries? For instance, one might be good in real estate and another might be better for a car dealership or another for manufacturing. Give me a detailed summary of these three, comparing them side by side. So what we're doing is we're taking a look at what's going on. And when you see the answers, I think you're going to like this. Let's take a look at what it said in the first example. Well, the first one we're going to take a look at is ChatGPT. So let's take a look at what it was said by ChatGPT about ChatGPT. It said, okay, it's got several different features. I want to highlight a few of these specifically so you can see it. Versatility, I like that. It supports a wide range of applications from brainstorming and giving you capabilities in other areas like scripting to coding to customer engagement. I think that's one of the real keys on that, giving us the versatility, particularly in the newer versions. You get the O, not 0, but O, 4.0, which is Omni, meaning you get a chance to see the text. You also can use audio, you can use video. Matter of fact, I got a special video I want to share with you, let you see what's that. So hang on, it's going to be here in just a moment or so. A second one here, advanced voice. This is important. It says for content creators, the voice interaction capabilities add a layer of usability for podcasting or script writing and video scripting. I think that's true, but I say it even goes beyond that. I'm using it now to find out phrases in languages. I'm studying Spanish and have studied Russian as well. And the other day, I was just thinking, what do I want to say? If I wanted to say the phrase, "Как дела, мой друг," is that correct? Which means, hello, my friend. And it's a very close one, somebody that you know. And it gave it to me exactly. It gave me the sound, and it gave me also the exact letters in Russian. And I thought, oh, this is good because I'm going to be seeing some Russian friends in a little while, and I want to be able to say it correctly. This is good because it listens to it and you can hear it. It's bringing in multimodal learning. What in the world does that mean, Derek? Well, multimodal means, according to psychologists and the really, really smart people that talk to us about that, you're getting not just from one area, just reading on text. When you get in text and you hear it and you're seeing it in some other context, that's really good. So ChatGPT, I think, does that very well. Some other features of ChatGPT are very nice. They've got their plugins that you can use, like their GPTs people can build, really good. Those are hot right now so that you can get automated tasks done over and over through ChatGPT. By the way, Perplexity does something like that, calling it spaces. So you've got that there. You've got these kind of tools that make it easier for you to do routine automated tasks. That's the real power of AI, because you're able to get things done quickly in business that generate to the bottom line. I like that. Also, you can get custom instructions for it. It gives you responses that are adaptable for professional use when you're using ChatGPT. But there's some disadvantages to it as well. Matter of fact, let's take a look here. Some of the weaknesses down here that it talks about. It's a reliance on training data. So make sure that you're getting that as well. And the cost. Well, okay, when you got a lot of people, even though it's $20 a month, for getting this regularly, you're going to add up with a lot of people. And $200 a month under their new version if you need that. But that all comes down to what you need to do. I think really it's a business decision. On all of these platforms, there are costs. There's some free versions, and then there's a cost. And too often we can get so much, we go, oh, gee, how am I going to do this? Well, here's what you got to do. Look at it from a business point of view. Is it worth the $20 a month that I'm going to get this value from, say, ChatGPT or Perplexity, which also is $20, or $8 a month if you're using Grok? So you can do that. Now, they do have a free version on all of these platforms, so I would recommend start with the free version, play with it, see what it's like, and get to know it and see what is there and how you can use it. And here's a very important area in ChatGPT that they did not have as much before. They're getting more of it now. Citations. You need to find out where they got that information. Too often, the term is hallucinations. We'll find that ChatGPT will come up with answers. You go, where in the world did I get that? That's not true. And then it can even come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I've heard it tell me that, literally, when I'm using the audio. I was wrong, I did this. Well, I'm glad it corrects itself. I think that's good. And I think that we can do that often. I've heard that from Perplexity as well. So I think they're both good. But remember, you want to see the source. Check the source. My journalistic background says, wait a minute, where'd you hear that? How do you know that's true? Well, one guy told me that. Okay, great. One guy does not make it necessarily true. And you got two people saying it. Okay, well, she said this and he said that. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Still not enough. We have this thing called getting 3 non-corroborating sources. People that are not checking with each other. They're not in there. They're in silos, 3 separate silos. You then have a much more reliable idea of what is correct. Doesn't mean it's true, because all 3 could be wrong, but you want to get multiple sources. That's the key. Actually, when they told us that long ago when I was in journalism, they told us, hey, you wanted 3. Now you can get 300 bazillion, I think that's the exact number, by using AI. AI runs out and it grabs lots. So this way you can get that abundance of support to say, wait a minute, it looks like we've got a 88.3% chance that this is correct. Okay, welcome to planet Earth. Nothing is for sure, or very few things are absolutely for sure. And so you want to make sure you have a good range of them available. So the question is, where is ChatGPT best? Well, here's what it says. It said it's best for general content entrepreneurs, particularly in industries needing creative, customer-focused, or multi-channel marketing solutions like real estate or education, digital marketing, and also businesses requiring integration and with external tools for efficiency. This is where it comes into line, and I think we've got a really good tool with ChatGPT. Let's take a look at what is said about ChatGPT from some other sources. All right, let's take a look at what Perplexity said about ChatGPT. When we look at it, it says, okay, it's got versatility. That's important. That versatility means it's capable of generating diverse content forms, from blog posts to code, customization in tone and style. Matter of fact, one of the things that I keep seeing over and over is when you're working with coding, ChatGPT is probably a little bit better than Perplexity. Although Perplexity can do it and do a good job, they seem to have a little bit more of an edge with ChatGPT. I'm not a coder, but those who are, we really appreciate what you're doing. You're helping us a lot. But you can see that ChatGPT, with the various ways and formats that it uses, can be very good. And also interesting, they mentioned the multimodal interaction, conversational engagement, and user-friendly interface. I think those are really important. I'm going to have to agree with that strongly. I particularly like the way that we can interface with audio and video. I can talk to it. That's great, by the way, for learning a language. I can say, give me some phrases in Spanish. I'm studying Spanish right now. Give me phrases in Spanish, and then let me repeat those back. And when I do, it can say, okay, that was good, but you missed this word right here. Let's try that one again. It's said this way. Da, da, da. Almost like we had a real human being there. I think ChatGPT is doing well on that. By the way, you can use that and focus in on the O1. Gives you a lot of capability. It's kind of a reasoning. You're talking with someone over and over. So it's ChatGPT, the focus on O1 when you're using it. That is really, really helpful. And to show you what we're talking about there, it's this option that you have right up here at the top. You'll see that it shows you GPT 4.0. When I click on that arrow that's pointing down, it shows me I can use GPT 4.0, and that's an O, not a 0. O as in Omni. and it's great for most tasks. I use that probably more than the others, but here's one that's real good. This is good. O1 is giving you advanced reasoning, uses advanced reasoning. What does that mean? Well, that means you've got someone that's going to talk it through with you and kind of sit back there and go, oh, okay, well, we could do that, or we could do this. What do you think about this? You have a conversation with them, and you can reason through, I've got a choice, either option A or option B. ChatGPT is really good for that because you can go and say, okay, I'm thinking option A, but there's also option E. On the other hand, we've got this. It handles all those yeah, but what about kind of questions that drive some people insane. Well, you're not going to drive the machines insane. It's there and it's going to help. It also has an O1 Mini, so it's going to operate just a little bit faster that way, and it gives you capability and some additional models that are here. Like, for instance, here you have the GPT-4o Mini, so it's faster for everyday tasks, and GPT-4 is kind of a legacy. So if you have something that you want to use for just common practice, that would be really good. So the bottom line is you've got some good options there, and it does pretty well. Well, let's bounce over and see what Grok has to say about ChatGPT. And remember that Grok is just a little bit different. It's part of X, formerly Twitter. Now they've got that built in there, and I think they're doing a really good job with it. But let's take a look at what it says here. As we see, it shows us, first of all, the versatility is there. And that versatility, let me put this on the screen here so you can see it just right. That versatility, we're hearing that again. It's a strength. Highly adaptable for various tasks, including content creation, coding, conversational engagement. It's excellent at generating human-like text in multiple formats. That right there is good enough for most of us who are content entrepreneurs by its very nature. Also, it shows you some other capabilities that we saw in what Perplexity and ChatGPT told us, customization and multimodal capabilities. So I think that's pretty good. Then on the weakness side, accuracy issues. There we go again with what we call hallucinations. Sometimes it's not quite accurate, and also a lack of direct sourcing. Unlike Perplexity, it doesn't inherently provide citations, which might necessitate additional verification for factual content. Well, I think that is something that has been true. It still is occasionally, but they have heard that. This industry moves fast. This data that I'm pulling it from, I know is a little bit out of date, but this is what it gave us. So we know, okay, they are starting to do it. Now we are seeing some citations occasionally within that. So that's going to be important. But I like this here where it comes down and it says, okay, this is where it's going to be best. And let's take a look at that and see what it says here. As it says, okay, our best things we're going to use this for will be content entrepreneurs, which that's you and me working with that and making sure that it's working really well. And also the industries like marketing and advertising, software development, and customer service in any skill. I think there's a lot of capabilities there with that. So that's ChatGPT. I like some of the features that it has. As a matter of fact, one of those is the capability of interacting. I got a video I just put together for you that you are going to love. Stand by. You're going to drop your jaw when you see this. If you haven't seen this before, if this is your first time watching that interaction, it's a little over 2-minute video, and you're going to enjoy this.
All right, here we go. I am now going to record this, creating a video recording, and I want to demonstrate how I can use ChatGPT. So I'm going to tap over here, and you'll see ChatGPT is in the upper right corner on this. I'll go in there. Now I'm using ChatGPT, and I'm going to turn on my camera. So now tell me, ChatGPT, can you see and hear me? Can we have a conversation?
Yes, I can see and hear you clearly. We can definitely have a conversation. What would you like to talk about?
Well, first of all, tell me, what color of shirt am I wearing today?
You're wearing a blue shirt today.
Ah, and what kind of a shirt is it? How would you describe it?
It looks like a casual button-down shirt with a collar. It's a nice, comfortable style.
Oh, it certainly is. Well, thank you. Well, now also here's an object that I have. What is this object? How would you refer to that, and what do you say are its functions?
That looks like a stylus pen. It's typically used for touchscreen devices, allowing for precise input and navigation. It can also be used for writing or drawing digitally.
Oh, that's very helpful. Now, very important question. I'm using a microphone right now. This is an external microphone here that I have on, and there's a receiver that's built into my Samsung S24 Ultra that I'm using for this. How is that sound coming through?
The sound is coming through clearly. Your microphone setup seems to be working well.
Is there any way I could improve the quality of the audio coming through, or is it at professional level quality right now?
The audio quality is quite good. If you'd like to enhance it further, you could try reducing background noise, ensuring the microphone is positioned closer, or using a pop filter. But overall, it already sounds quite professional.
All right, it's down here. If I move it up a little bit higher, does that give a better sound?
Yes, positioning the microphone closer to your mouth can help improve sound clarity and volume, making your voice sound more distinct.
I have a question. Sometimes when I move it up higher, I get overmodulation and it comes through too much. How do I find out the optimal level where to put the microphone at any given moment?
Finding the optimal microphone position involves a bit of testing. Speak at your normal volume and gradually move the mic until you find a position that captures your voice clearly without distortion. You can also check the audio levels and adjust accordingly. Aim for a balanced sound where your voice is clear but not too loud.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your help.
You're very welcome. If you need any more assistance, feel free to ask.
So is that pretty incredible or what? The ability to be able to see yourself, and the computer, ChatGPT, can see you and say, you're wearing this kind of shirt or doing this or that. Think about the possibilities of that. When you can have it on you, or you can turn it around so it faces outward, you can use that for some enormous creative applications. Start looking into this and let me know what you think about it. It's pretty amazing. One of the things I really like about Perplexity is they say we are not a search engine. They're kind of comparing themselves to Google, because Google does a lot of search engine. It's been known for that. They say what we are is we're an answer engine to give you answers. Oh, that's even better. Well, let's take a look at what they are said about that. The strengths here, yes, search-based insights that are there. Plus, we see also they have Perplexity Spaces. This is a feature that allows users to aggregate data like PDFs, YouTube links, podcasts, all that can put together into shareable collections. That's powerful. This is invaluable for creating resources like ebooks, lead magnets, and training materials. Okay, that's real good for those of us who are content entrepreneurs, because you want to make sure you have those lead magnets, you have the resources, the extra goodies that you can give people. Sometimes they're audio, sometimes they're video, sometimes it's a combination. With Perplexity, you have a way to do that. They have a thing called Page, which is really nice. It lets you put these together, and then you can bring in other resources as well. That's just one of the ways they do it. And it gives you that ability. And I think also there's another feature here. They talk about the custom query optimization. It allows users to tailor how the queries are handled, and which is useful for content creators needing specific results, and very cost effective. So for $20 a month or $200 a year, you get the paid version. Their free version is fabulous also by itself. So again, I would recommend what you want to do is you want to start with that. That's going to be the real key. And over here we look at the weaknesses that it says from ChatGPT. Well, it's got limited context understanding. Okay, I'll give it that. And interface complexity. Beginners may find the Spaces feature a little bit less than intuitive. Okay, that could be. It means it's going to have a little bit more capability. You'll need to study it just a little bit longer. And industry adaptability. While versatile, it lacks the extensive plugins or integrations found in other platforms like ChatGPT. And I would have to agree with that. You've got a little bit more possibilities with ChatGPT, with their GPTs and the agents that we're moving toward. We're not there yet with all of this, but it's going to be there probably first on that. But Perplexity is great for getting the information you use. I use Perplexity regularly when I'm writing my columns. I send out a column on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, a really good one. You probably want to subscribe to that. And you can get some good information that way on a variety of areas of AI, using a computer, marketing ideas, sales, all of that is available. So you can get that. Matter of fact, check on in the description, you'll see a way that you can tap into that and sign up for it at no charge to you. But I find the capabilities that they have in Perplexity for that is enormous. I love particularly the way that you can do a focus in Perplexity. You can focus on, say, writing. So what it does, it puts blinders on and says, okay, we're not going to pay attention to the current temperature or the current news or something like that, or even maybe a lot of historical information. We're concentrating on writing, good spelling, good grammar, good style of writing, how it's going to be. And as you put your own feeling, your own voice in there, you've got an assistant helping you. I would say not doing it for you. Don't let it just do that, copy and paste. Instead, as I like to say, you want to copy, paste, and then customize. Customize it for them for what they're doing. And it's really good for a lot of other areas. One of the factors they have is academic. Like for instance, if you take a look here at this, best for, well, they've got academic research that is available, and that academic research is saying, here it is, fact checking, showing you that it was the University of Ookie Woogie with Professor Smith and Professor Jones. Ookie Woogie is a good university, okay. Smith and Jones, and they came up with this research that showed this. That's really important. I think there's a lot of capabilities with that, a lot of good things to be said about it. But okay, I'm talking to you, my fellow content entrepreneurs. It says here, content entrepreneurs who are focused on creating structured, research-heavy materials. This is good. And the research-heavy can mean, hey, you want to say this is what people are saying. One of the real sneaky things that you can do, don't tell anybody, don't tell any of the grown-ups this, but you can use a feature called social media. Social, where you can focus on that. And what that means is you're going to find out what people are saying on Reddit about hot topic. Say there's a hot topic there, out there, and there's people on this side of it, and there's people on that side, real controversial. It'd be good for you to study that and go, oh, on this side they say da 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 da, but over on that side they're saying this and this and this. Now you're more objective, that'd be the word to use, and making sure that you're saying here is what can be used in a real powerful way. Not just here's my side contributing to the echo chamber. Instead, well, there is that point here, and then there's this point over here. And then you use your own brain and give something that's unique. You stand out in a favorable way by doing that. And let's take a look at what Perplexity is saying are the strengths of Perplexity. We take a look at that. It's saying it's got accuracy and research oriented. Boy, that's for sure. Because what it's doing is it's saying, here's what's going on right now. One of the things you can do is find out, is this really in tune with what's happening right now? You can do this on Perplexity and have been able to from the beginning. A good way to test it, wherever you are, say, tell me what is the time and the temperature in city where I am right now. Then you're going to know pretty close. You'll know the time for sure. And you can probably tell whether the temperature is within that range that they give you. With the search capability that they have in ChatGPT now, it does that as well. So you see what's happening is each LLM, large language model, is looking at the others. They've got it and they're going, ooh, they just did this. We need to put that in there. So the coders get busy, those wonderful coders, and they're picking away at their computers and they come up with a code so they can match that. So we get that real-time information now, actually with all three of these tools that we're working with here. ChatGPT now through search, as well as Perplexity and Grok. All of them have that, and that's important. Another feature that really is nice and makes it easy for learning is the conversational approach. Much like we have over in ChatGPT, it does this well here. And I think it's good. However, I got to tell you, in my personal opinion, one of the things I like to do a lot is get a summary of a book. Famous book that's out there that's really good, maybe a book that I read years ago and I want a refresher on it. Give me a summary of the book such and such by author so-and-so in 100 paragraphs or less, and cite those passages that are often quoted most often. Something like that. And I get a chance to listen to that. So while I'm going to get real personal with you here, while I'm flossing my teeth, I'll do that. And I have fun with it. So I'm learning and refreshing my mind with really good things. Or maybe a book I haven't read yet and I need to get a summary of it. So I get a good summary of it. And then sometimes I'll go back and say, hey, that summary was so good. I'm going to go back, get the book itself and read it. So this is good. I think that ChatGPT does that a little bit better right now as we're recording it than Perplexity. ChatGPT gives me more in-depth information. This is just my experience. I'm only speaking for me. Very good information. I liked it. Perplexity was a little bit weak. It would only give me a little bit. And so I wanted to get a much richer experience. I take a while to floss my teeth, okay? And I like it. I'm learning. I'm growing that way. So I put it together and it works really nice. Now, a disadvantage of using using Perplexity would be the lack of creativity. That's something that they've talked about, which is, okay, I get it. That's just where they are. Here we look at the lack of creativity that's there. It means it's not really focusing on that. That's not what its main thing is. That's okay. We get it. That's where ChatGPT or Grok can do it even more. And we looked at it's got subscription fees. That's another thing, the cost wherever you are, and limited multimodal features. That I found to be true. I like the rich multimodal features that we have with ChatGPT, actually over all three of these so far. And it does a good job, so it kind of wins in that area. And that can be very, very good. Well, here's what Grok is saying about Perplexity and what it thinks of it. It comes back and it says, well, accuracy and the sourcing, very good. It excels at providing accurate, well-sourced answers via advanced models, and I would have to agree with it. That's been my experience as well. Real-time information, yep, it'll tell you the time, the date, but what that means more than just the weather report or the news, which is kind of nice to have, it's making sure that the information you're getting is up to date. That's really important in many cases there. However, the weaknesses that it sees, creativity limitation, less effective for creative tasks. Well, we saw that also from Perplexity themselves. And the user interface, some users might find the ad integration in search results less appealing, though they are clearly labeled. Well, they put in some ads in there. They've got to pay the bills, so they get it. And I find that if they make the ads attuned to what I'm interested in, then that's good. Because I might go, oh, I might want to get one of those. I bought one of these before, and this is similar, so somebody's giving me information. If I'm in the market for it, that's real good. If it's just something I go, oh, okay, I don't need that right now, but let me keep that in mind and see where it's there. So there's a lot of good there. And it says here, it's best for, well, here we are. We're seeing similar things here. Content entrepreneurs, particularly useful for those focusing on educational content or SEO through factual, well-researched articles. Industries that are particularly good, real estate, manufacturing, academic, or research. I think all of that is really important and has some good features. One of the things I find very interesting about this is when we're using three different sources, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Grok, and we start getting a repetition, the same answers, that's confirmation. They're probably onto something here. This is a good thing. That's why it's good to have the various different points of view. You don't want just one, you want a few. Okay, let's start with ChatGPT. What does ChatGPT look at for the strengths of Grok? Well, when we look at that, it shows us, okay, it's integrated with X, formerly Twitter. Grok is optimized for communication and management on the X platform, making it ideal for social media managers. Real good. If you're a social media manager, this can help you a lot. Concise insights. I like that. It's real fast. It gets to the point. It says, here's where we're going. Privacy oriented. Very much oriented toward private. And that's important in many areas because sometimes you don't want the whole world knowing what's going on. They excel on that over there. Now you have privacy settings both in Perplexity and in ChatGPT. I think they make a little bit extra effort in using it with Grok, which I kind of like, and focus on AI first social media. So they're looking at that kind of social media and what can be done. For the weaknesses, well, limited ecosystem. Yeah, okay, I would have to agree with that. You're seeing that it's currently centered around X, lacking integrations on broader tools and platforms. We see also the creative limitations, not as versatile, that would be true. And it's best for industries that thrive on social media presence. So it's got some real nice capabilities there, but also there's some limits. It's best for industries that thrive on social media, automotive dealerships, e-commerce, entertainment, and content entrepreneurs focusing on short-term, social-first strategies. I think that's a real important thing, and I would have to agree. Okay, let's take a look at what Perplexity is saying are the strengths that we see over in working with Grok. And it says, first of all, one I have to agree with, humor and wit. You can put it into a fun mode or not. Now, sometimes you want it to be very serious. Other times it's nice to have a little bit of fun and funny put in there, or I should say, suggested funny. Some of it's not always that funny, but some of it really is. So it's nice to have that variation and have the ability. Real-time data access, oh yeah, that's really good to have that. And advanced language processing. It understands and it responds to linguistic nuances, including slang and idiomatic expressions. That's important depending on what you're doing. If you need to tie into an idiomatic expression that's unique to this community, this is where Grok is going to help you, even more than the others, even more than Perplexity, ChatGPT. It's got some nice features to that, and it's something that I have found to be very helpful and to be able to help me learn about some cultures that I just needed to know. For the weaknesses, though, the cost, okay, it's not free. Well, actually, notice this information here. It says it's not free. I know that as of a few days ago, it really is. So here we're catching Perplexity, not quite up to speed on this. This is something that was true just recently. And so here, even as we're doing research, we're looking at it. That's why, again, what you want to remember is the benefit of using multiple sources. Don't just go to one place. And I'm starting to get up here to my conclusion, so you kind of know where I'm going to be leaning on this. You want to have more than one source. You want to have those 3 non-corroborating sources. My journalism folks told me that's important. You want to look at that. And it says here a potential bias. There's a potential bias it could be trained on. It could lead to bias or offensive content. That's a possibility, but we get that anywhere you go. All kinds of information is coming from different areas. So what do? I think the answer to that is like with politics. Do you say, if I only go to this site and get only my information from what they say on this point of view, I think that's a little distorted. What you want is you want this one and then that one and that one and even that one over here too, way over there. Blend them together and then you use your own brain, your own voice to put out there what you want and how this is going to work and the best way to reach the people and solve the problems there. This is going to be best for content entrepreneurs. Well, here we go. Its unique features like humor and real-time data show you creators aiming for engaging, up-to-date content. Industries, well, car dealerships can benefit from it. Customer engagement and real-time information retrieval for inventory updates. It's also suitable for industries where humor and wit can enhance customer interactions. Well, let me think. It says entertainment or hospitality. I think that applies to just about everywhere you're going to go. And so it's got something, but I want to show you another thing that we can do here with Grok as we look at Grok itself. Now, remember again, Grok is part of X, formerly Twitter. So what it's doing is it's getting the information real time there. It's one of the real advantages of it. You're going to find out, well, on X, people are giving their opinion. They're saying, here's a hot topic, controversial topic, and the people on this side are going to say their point of view. People on that side are going to say their point of view. You're going to get a chance to hear both. Be ready for some, shall we say, lively language that might not be safe for work, and some pictures that might not be safe for work. So you want to just be aware of that. They could exist. There's cases when sometimes you want to get a picture that others would say you can't have, and it's going to be for a legitimate, real reason. It's more involved than just saying don't use it or do use it. It's more nuanced, and so I'm just saying you want to check with the proper authorities and people in your circumstance. What works in one might not work in the other. Well, here when we look at the advantages of this, notice, by the way, I'm on X right now. You'll see the options there. And so let's take a look at what it says, and it brings in, once again, telling us about the humor and personality. I love it. What you can do is you can go in there and adjust that in some of the ways that they've got it. Now, they've changed a little bit on this too, because right now, if you want to change this, see, it used to be we had 2, but now I do not have the option for turning on the fun or turning it off. So that's something that has changed. We're looking at it, and because AI is changing so fast all the time, we're going to see what we can do. Oh, and by the way, again, remember, I used the same prompt in all 3 to get the various information, the various kinds of things that we need. So it's showing me a lot of capabilities with this. I love the way they talk about this here. Directness and innovation designed to tackle spicy questions. Okay, use your imagination what that is, that other AIs might shy away from, offering straightforward, sometimes controversial insights. In other words, again, some of the language is not safe for work. Some of it's going to be a little bit out there, and you want to just be aware that that exists. There's a place for it, and there's a place not to. In your situation, determine. And it says integration with X, Twitter, being tied to the X platform. It has real-time access to social media insights, which can be invaluable for trend analysis. And the weaknesses, well, limited in scope. Less emphasis on broad research capabilities or detailed technical assistance compared to Perplexity and ChatGPT. I would have to agree on that. Doesn't always have everything, but it's got an advantage of really getting into social media, being able to share things that you just can't with others. Best for content entrepreneurs, talks about industries that are available, media and entertainment, social media management, startups, and disruptive tech for out-of-the-box thinking or to encourage innovation. So there's going to be some capabilities here. I like the way it sums this up here. Notice it says Perplexity is your go-to for factual research-backed content ideal for industries that are requiring precision and up-to-date information. ChatGPT, it shines in versatility, making it the best for content that involves creativity, broad application across industries, and customer interaction. I would have to agree. I think that Perplexity is particularly good in that area, but ChatGPT is catching up fast, doing a lot as it is going. And Grok, unique for its personality and directness, suitable for content that needs to stand out on social platforms or industries where innovation and unconventional thinking are valued. So what you want to do is, for a content entrepreneur, integrating all these could be beneficial using Perplexity for research, ChatGPT for content creation, and Grok for adding personality or for quick, engaging social media posts. Each platform's strengths come from different but complementary needs in content creation and industry-specific applications. Well, while we're here on Grok, I want to show you some of the things that it does that are pretty amazing. One of the areas where Grok really sparkles is its ability to give you dazzling graphics and pictures. It ties into Flux, F-L-U-X, Flux, which is a great tool, platform for creating graphics, and sometimes can do even better. And it's not perfect yet, but let me show you some things that I have done with this that work nicely. I ride a unicycle, so I wanted to create some pictures of guys on a unicycle that would look similar to me, and look what I put in here. You'll see this, it's got it here. Not perfect yet, but it's got some capabilities that you can see. All right, this looks like a guy riding a unicycle. Looks kind of handy over there. And what I can do is I can take a look at some others. Here's another one, put it in there. And it was okay. I like the way it did it, but it also kind of went crazy on some things. Like right here, let me come down over here. You can see it's got one here, and this is something that doesn't exist. I said I want a unicycle. Well, unicycles, I can tell you, do not have handlebars. And it yet gave me one with the handlebars. I had to go over it several times with that. Here's a picture that does not exist in the real world. I created this that you could not create on the other platforms. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump all sharing a beer, smiling, and talking. Well, obviously that lets you know it's not real, but when you look at the faces there, it looks pretty good. Matter of fact, if I look over here, let me find one that'd be really good. There we are. If I take a look at this one right here, let me get this set for you so you can look at it. That almost looks like it's a real picture. And that's the key. You can now create this and use it where other platforms would even prevent you from doing that. They would say, we cannot do that. We will not show you this. But with Flux, with Grok, they go, of course, go for it. You can see that, and it gives you a lot of capabilities. Another thing you'll want to do is create pictures that you can use royalty-free, legally, and be able to use this in many different applications. One of the things that's been important to me, if you know me, you know, I've worked with judo, Kodokan Judo, and I worked my way through high school and undergrad school teaching that. So I wanted to have some pictures of it and take a look at what it gave me. I created this right here. This could almost look like a real picture from a real match in a dojo or at a contest, something like that. It was not. No, this is there, but it gives you an idea of what judo looks like, what can be done with it. And I created several pictures with this that you can see in there, although some of them were not quite accurate, because what it did is it brought in 3 people, and you don't have 3 people in a match like that. At least I can't think of any, but you can put that in there. And so there's times when it's not quite right. The benefit is you've got some things that work really well and some things that are not working so well. So as we take a look at it, what's my conclusion? Which one should you go with? The answer is, I believe you need to get a combination. For me, I use all 3 of them. And yes, I'm paying $20 each for ChatGPT and for Perplexity, and I'm paying $8 a month for Grok, because that gives me, for that roughly $50, I got access to a host of tools. I find often one of them might not be working, or one might be giving me the wrong answers. You saw even in this video that we saw some were not quite right. But I can look at the others, and that can be better. It's a good tool. And besides, this is business. For me, it is worth $50 a month to get the benefits I'm getting, that I can work with my clients. I go out and show them how they can use this, how their people can start using this and turn that into sales, turn that into savings of money, and get a lot more done and build their business that way. This is what you want to do. Look at it from a business point of view of how you can make it work for the people that you want to be with. And so I'd love to hear from you. Matter of fact, more than ever, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. How are you using these? Are you using these tools? Are you open to taking a look at it now that you've seen it? Or are you saying, nope, that one's not for me. I'm not going to do it because, and let us know your because. We want to know why you're saying what you're saying, if it's comfortable with you doing that. I'm Terry Brock, and it is a delight to be with you. I appreciate you taking your time, your energy to be here with me and to participate in this. We've got some more videos coming up for you that you're going to be able to see that are tightly tied into content creation and how you can do that, how you can start using these tools and really get a lot ahead of others who are not using them for whatever reason, whatever excuse they make up. You can do it. You're on your own. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you.